Hello everybody and welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. So today I am in, firstly, what I thought was going to be a Christmas themed lighting. I have smart lighting in my office. I've set it to red. I thought that would be Christmassy. It's giving off more of a red gamma radiation vibe, like maybe a nuclear bomb has gone off nearby, but we're going to stick with it because it is Christmas and I am feeling relatively festive, so we're going with this. What we are playing today is New Deck 24, also known as Pile of New Alchemy cards. That is essentially what this deck is, so I'm going to have to quickly run through all the cards. I did talk about some of these in the past, but I've thrown a load of them together and had some relative success with it, so let's just talk them through. Piece it together. 1. Draw a card. If you play 4 of these throughout the game, you get an extra turn on the 4th one, and that's it really. This seems a bit rubbish until you pair it with cards that can replay it, such as Saiba Syphoner, which can play it out of the graveyard, and we also have the Midnight Clocks from Rusko, which we'll cover in a second, which can help us get cards out of our graveyard and replay them. To make this appear, you all know, we're running 3 Third Path Iconoclast. This is the 2/1 that creates you a 1/1 artifact creature soldier when you cast a non-creature. We have a ton of non-creatures. We only have 12 creatures, and so we've got 14, 20, 24 non-creatures in the deck, so this happens quite a lot. 4 Molten Impact, because it's amazing, 1 of each of these black removal spells for the bigger things. 3 Fable of the Mirror Breaker, 2 Wandering Mind. Wandering Mind, as a refresher for those who don't know, is 1, a blue and a red. It's a 2/1 flying horror. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 6 cards of your library, reveal a non-creature, non-land, put it into your hand, rest on the bottom of the library in any order. It pairs very nicely with Fable. Being able to copy this and get more of them entering is extremely nice. And also, the reason for this really is to search up the things we need. We've got lots of non-creature solutions in this deck to various problems, and it's nice to be able to search them up, and also we can find our pieces together as if we're close to getting an extra turn. We are running through Crucias, Titan of the Waves, and this is one of the cards that I am most excited about that has come out in the last Alchemy set. So this is 1, a black and a red for a 3/3 legendary human creature pirate. At the beginning of your end step, you may discard a card. If you do, create a treasure token and then choose Ambitious or Expedient. This is the wording of this card is so bizarre. If you chose Ambitious, seek a card. If you choose Ambitious, seek a card with greater mana value than the discarded card. If you choose Expedient, seek a card with lesser mana value. So you have to discard a card, but you're replacing it with one with either higher or lower mana value. Now, just to break down what that means, if I have a Crucias in play, and let's say I have a Crucias in my hand, I can choose to either take one of these cards, or one of these cards plus lands. So if you choose Expedient, i.e. lower, you can always pick a land because they have a mana value of 0, whereas if you choose Ambitious, then you know you're not getting a land, so you're getting one of these. So typically, if you're in the early game, or you, for example, in this deck, if we need to find removal, we could choose Expedient, although we're still likely to find a land if we choose that option. But if we choose Ambitious, we're likely to reveal one of these items, which typically are our later game more useful cards. So often we'll end up choosing Ambitious, but not always. 2 Saiba Syphoners to replay instants and sorceries from our graveyard. This is why we only need 3 removal cards plus 4 here, because we have the ability to get them back if we want them, which is very useful. 2 Rusko the Clockmaker. So this is 2, a blue and a black for a 3/3 legendary human artificer. When he enters the battlefield, conjure a card named Midnight Clock onto the battlefield. So that is a 3 costing mana rock that you can see on the screen there. And it also has blue, put an hour counter on Midnight, 2 and a blue, put an hour counter on Midnight Clock. At the beginning of each upkeep, put an hour counter on Midnight Clock. That is yours and your opponent's. When the 12th hour counter is put on Midnight Clock, shuffle your hand and graveyard into your library, then draw 7 cards. So as I was saying, if we've cast a few pieces together, this allows us to shuffle them back into our library and have a higher chance of redrawing them to get to the 4th one. But also, it's a way of ramping us, which is very nice. So yeah, Midnight Clock is very useful in this deck. We've got quite a few things where having more mana is useful. For example, the 1 can help pay for the 1 tap of Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. It can pay for a piece it together to draw us an extra card when we play Rusko. It can pay for the cards that come out of Kayla's Kindling. So it is very helpful to have extra mana in this deck, and also his ability of whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an hour counter on each opponent you control named Midnight Clock, and each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life is very nice. We can ramp the clocks a bit faster, and we can force our opponents to lose life and buy us some time. 2 Tasha Unholy Archmage. This is really there for anti-mono red, although I look like I enjoy mono red with this lighting. Yeah, this is there to plus really against creature decks, mono red, soldiers, and then potentially build up and minus in certain situations. 2 of Teferi Temporal Pilgrim for a bit of grindy Planeswalker action. This is particularly nice against things like Farewell decks. It's nice to have a couple of Planeswalkers around in case you run into Farewell. Because the thing about Kayla's Kindling, which is our real engine in the deck, is it is very removable. Enchantments aren't the hardest to remove for things like Farewell, or even just like, there are creatures that can remove enchantments fairly easily. So it's nice to have some Planeswalkers, which are slightly harder to get rid of. Kayla's Kindling is the powerhouse of the deck. So this is a 5-costing enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target. Fine, it's a shock for 5. At the beginning of your upkeep, draft a card from the spellbook, exile it. Until the end of turn, you may cast that card. So the cards in her spellbook are half decent, a lot of them, but the fact that you're getting an extra card every single turn, and many of them are burn, is what gives us a win con. Seasoned Pyromancer we're not so bothered about. Lightning Bolt, great, yeah, an extra 3 damage to their face each turn, or pick off a creature. Terror of the Peaks is one of the best closers that this deck offers. Terror of the Peaks, for those who don't know, is 5-costing Flying Dragon. Whenever they target it with a spell, it costs them 3 life, so it basically has ward 3 life, and whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. So if, for example, we have our Iconoclast down and we're casting spells, we're going to create 1/1s that are going to zap things for 1 damage, or we could just be casting other things like Syphoners. We could be cloning things of Fable. There's all sorts of ways to trigger this ability. Abrade, yeah, flexible removal for artifacts and creatures. Young Pyromancer is also pretty good if we want to spit out some more tokens. Explosive Singularity, because we could have tokens sitting around from Iconoclast, that this gives us a way of turning those into mana to shoot the target opponent in the face for 10 damage. Unexpected Windfall we don't use very often. Siege Gang Commander is pretty darn nice. It's a 5-costing goblin, 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, create 3 1/1 red tokens, and you can pay to sack a goblin and do 2 damage to any target, and we can clone that with Fable of the Mirror Breaker, so it can keep entering the battlefield and keep creating 3 goblins. Electro Dominance is very nice. Crackle with Power is a nice big finisher. Cleansing Wildfire isn't very useful. Volcanic Fallout. This spell can't be countered and deals 2 damage to each creature and each player. Very nice. If we need a board wipe. Banefire and uncounterable damage to anything that we can shoot their face with. Jewelcaster Mage allows us to clone a spell, and Gutter Snipe for some more grindy damage. Anyway, there are loads of cards in here that do well at going for face, and it's sort of proven pretty effective in my testing of it. So that is our deck. We're kind of going with a bit of a GRIXIS-y, grindy vibe, but with some spice with the Kayla's Kindling, the Crucias, the Clockmaker, and the pieces together. So yeah, there's lots of fun going on in this deck. We're only running 24 lands because we've got pretty good filtering with Fable and Piece It Together, and yeah, I think it's going to be fun. Let's have some games. Alright, here we go. Crystal Tea. I'm on a wonderful 89%, having been messing about with new alchemy things the whole day, but look at this, we've got a whole load of them to play with. Fun to have fun with some new cards. Who cares about rating? It's not the end of the world. Let's piece it together. Okay, and we'll do it again. Up to intensity 3 already. Okay, let's try Fable. Shouldn't be a counter with green-white. No, but they can kill off the Fable next turn. I guess we'll block if they attack, because they definitely sack it to kill the enchantment. Okay, maybe not. I was quite wrong. So we've got all the colours, but red we need more of, I think. Yeah, we'll take that. And we'll play the Crucias. So let's ditch this and go ambitious. Okay, another Kayla's. So GRIXIS command could be good here if there's lots of little weeny creatures around. With Kayla's Kindling just tiding us over, I think. Can kill off the rope line attendant, maybe to save us a little bit of damage. Start gaining some cards. And what do we discard? This one, and then we'll have to go expedient because there's nothing more expensive in our deck, right? No. Oh dear. Oh, they only will get to 2. That's okay. Take the lightning bolt, because then we can go like this, lightning bolt that, and then we get in for 7. We'll ditch this land, ambitious, because we need to go higher. Good, Wandering Mind is nice. Okay, that's a pretty nice sunset revelry. Give me something to get rid of those. I think we'll just go lightning bolt, shall we? Because then we just impact one of these. Yeah, they can see what's happening. GG, let's try again. Definitely liking this red light. It's literally red for bathing in hell, basically. Rather than red for Christmas. It's hurting my eyes a little bit, but I'm committed now. Can't go back. In fact, whilst I wait for this game, we can get a proper Christmas. Here we go. There we go. Right. Keep 3 tap lands, but who cares? 72%. I've literally lost like every game today. I don't know how you get that low. They must be playing some right cracked deck with blue in it. Okay, more Crossroads. Okay, an untapped land, that is what we want, so we can Fable away some of this rubbish. Blue, black, no special lands. Is this going to get countered? No, good. Good boy, CJ. Anyway, look, it's Planeswalkers. Oh. I was relying on that to get to my Kindling. What you got, CJ? Malevolent Hermit. It's actually pretty nice against me, isn't it? I was about to say, this is where, just watch me draw no lands now. Oops. So what is going on here then? Rusko? Maybe blue-black in Alchemy these days will be this. We've drawn our 2 copies of it. I'm not sure about not holding open make disappear, but I just want to play something, so we're going to go with it. Okay, got your own Fable. It's pretty cool. I'm actually quite looking forward to replaying mine, to be honest. Although they could counter it with Hermit, right? Yeah. This only counters non-creatures, so we can play Rusko. get ourselves a clock. That'll help us afford the other stuff. Unless you pay 3. So if we get another land, we can play the Fable and pay that. Machine over matter. Returns it to its hand. Costs 1 less if you control an artifact creature, which they don't. So pay 2 just to bounce something. And they bounce this little dude for some reason. Definitely some interesting tactics going down here. Interesting could be the right word. Tasha. Let's just go this, shall we? And then we'll try this. Even if it doesn't work, we're going to do 1 drain and get a 1/1 and get rid of the Hermit. It's worth it. And we'll hold back. No point letting this thing hit us. End up shuffling my whole hand into my library in a minute, but Fable, yeah, got to get rid of that. Hopefully we can Kindling now, relatively stress-free. Are they? No. I was going to say they're not actually GRIXIS, are they? But I don't think they are. I think they were just using that land because now I'm more worried about killing this off, to be honest, or this. Let's do Kindling. And we'll get rid of that. This is up to 7 already. Need to use some of these cards up before we get there. I don't really understand what the opponent's done with all their cards. They're down to 1 in hand. They haven't really done anything. They've like stolen 1 thing of mine, and everything else is just, I don't know, a bit of fluff really. But oh, this is a pretty nice combo, eh? Gain 2 life and draw a card every turn. To get rid of this reflection. I've not got anything that can do that at present. We can get ourselves a copy of Hermit if we want. Yeah, I'm going to block. Doubt there's anything here that does a 1 damage. Could give this Death Touch or something, but I don't know. I think we're safe. They're just doing it because they want the card. Or they want the card early, I mean. If you attack with it, at least you get it for your second main, whereas if you just wait till end step, you don't get it this turn. So if it's a creature, you can play it, which is fine. We're going to start drawing some cards from Kayla's Kindling now, so hopefully we'll get a choice of something to get rid of this reflection. I could do 3 with this and then play a piece together. I think that might actually be what we do. And we can play a Fable with it now. As long as we don't get countered, of course. Got a little army of dudes going, so we've got plenty of blockers. Oh, that is actually pretty good. Fizzled my spell, so we don't get the other cast. There's so much stuff in my hand. I'm gonna have to shuffle back into my library in a minute. How have we only drawn 4 lands in 17? I know we drew 6, and I put 2 in the bin, of course. But still, 6 and 17 is pretty low. At least we stopped their little drawing combo for a while. Non-creature spells you control can't be countered. Yeah, okay. So they could kill this. I think we might do it. Let's try anyway. This could be a cut down or a bounce spell. But to be honest, it's not the end of the world. They're out of cards now, and that is a place that I like them being. We're going to get something from Kayla's Kindling again here, which none of it's useful. Great, okay. Where's the lands? What's happening? So we can do this. We can do this and try and find a land. Get a whole army of tokens. Oh, because we drew. Okay. Definitely found a land. Okay, that's good. This is good. We can use the go for the throat. And get rid of the 5/5 maybe, or maybe this 2/2 to be honest, or maybe this, and we can get something back, you know, because this is just instant sorcery. So having this in our hand doesn't stop that, which is quite a nice little, you know, nice little. What's the word? Combo? Not really a combo, just benefit. I think I'm going to kill the 2/2, or this. No, we'll kill this. Yeah, we'll kill the 2/2, and we'll chump the other 2. By chump, I mean we'll try blocking to kill this again with our tokens. Okay, got that back. They must be they're playing this card, they must be playing like the prototype cards, surely. Well, there's no combat trick for this, but they could put a 1 counter on it with the remaining mana, so we need to block it with 4 things. Like this. We're going to have a ton more, so... Please don't have top decked some removal for one of my 1/1s again. Okay, Volcanic Fallout sounds good. Yeah, that sounds very good. It's going to kill off my token makers, but it's going to clear... What's this got? 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures. Although they could sack this anyway. Alternatively, we can go Banefire, kill off the Reflection. No, I'll go for the Fallout. Choo, choo, choo. Can't be countered, of course, it's pretty nice. And then when we go for Crossroads, that would be nice, and we can play this. I guess it's just going to be a chump, because this will be big enough to finish us. Or Rusko can chump, depending on which. Having endless jumps could be more useful than the 1 drain. Displace a kitten, it's a bit nasty. Just really struggled so much with lands after that decision early on. Okay, the Iconoclast can be the chump and we can block. Okay, no we can't. But surely he's going to bounce the Circuit Mender anyway. Yeah. So we know they don't have a non-creature. Lightning Bolt is good. So we need to play the Syphoner. But that just got more expensive. So we can play this on this. Yeah. And then can't afford the lightning bolt because there's no red left. So we just let that go. Okay. We're alive for the short term. It's been a much harder game than I would have imagined. We'll shuffle this back in. Yeah. And then we can play Tasha. Or Kayla, actually. It's going to give them an extra card, but we're going to get 2 a turn from our 2 Kaylas now. They don't have any face damage, hopefully, with blue-black. Okay, do we start building up little dudes, or do we just go, let's start facing them? Let's start facing them. So, let's make sure we cast this as it's... And then this is worth 5. They could counter, I suppose. Didn't think about that. Yeah. That's okay. Not the end of the world. Can't be countered. How much life have they got? So we got 3, 7, 8. Gonna do 7 with that. Let's take the commander. And then let's take this Pyromancer. We definitely don't want Grasp. And maybe, no, that gained us some life back. Let's ditch Tasha. Try and play this, because holding make disappear when you've got little minions is nice. Can't stop that. Okay. At least they're out of cards again. And we've now actually got a threat. God, I'm going round in circles a bit here. Gutter Sniper, what, the Terror is so good. Can't turn a Terror of the Peaks down. Is that going to cost me 1? Yeah. We have lethal on board now, at least. I'm taking that just for the lifelink. Whew. Well, it was closer than I thought it would be. But we got there. We got the grinding with the Kayla's Kindling. It shows you how powerful it is when you can just grind them out. Okay. Next one, Lotus Blue. Okay. Can't complain too much. Got a good land set up this time. The thing about this is it's not that great in our deck, but people see it and obviously it's like a target because you can't have the opponent spitting out endless blockers. And that is all it does here. We don't have any good synergy with it, but it still seems strong enough. We don't want too many of them, which is why we're only running 3, but you know, 2 is still fine. Spirited Companions, there's some kind of like white control-y deck. Yeah, oh. Control-y creature deck. Could have attacked there. I definitely wouldn't have been blocking. So let's throw away the other Crucias. No, let's throw away the other Iconoclast and be ambitious. I need something to deal with that though. Not attacking at all. Well, there is something to deal with it, I suppose. But at the moment I'm tempted to deal with the voice while it's small. Could offer a trade with this as well. Would be worth killing off a welcoming vampire. They didn't trade. So let's be expedient. Yeah, because we can get a land. Don't want to miss too many land drops. Yeah, this combination is going to cause us a problem. We'll get rid of the vampire next turn. Oh my god, I keep hitting these in, and these are causing problems, but let's just trade that off. Fallout we could do, but it's not great here. Banefire, it's okay. So we've got 5 mana, we could make it 6. So we could do this for 3. Okay. So if we do... No, we'll do this first. On here. Yeah. And then we'll do this, red, untap, and we'll impact this and keep 2 damage in the bank. And we don't really want to tap land, do we? So we'll be ambitious. Just ramp us a little bit. Clockmaker is cool at the moment. This could be Wandering Emperor, couldn't it? In fact, let's not do it like that. Let's just do like this. Could also have been just attacking for a depopulate. Fine. We've definitely got the long game with the Kindling down. So we can Rusko and then piece it together with our clock. Another piece it together. And then we've got the clock down as well, which if they don't deal with, you know, gives us a refuel, although they're probably running Farewell in this deck. Okay, didn't see that one coming. Ascend from Avernus, pretty nice. Terror of the Peaks, also pretty nice. They're not going to want a board wipe now, at least. Ooh. Yes, please. It's going to kill my snipe in my mind, but... It looks pretty good, doesn't it, where I'm sitting? Just turning that veteran into a card. They know that's getting killed. Saving their Voice of the Blessed though. They know that's getting killed. So they sacrifice it with the highest power, so by the time all of their 2 costing things are destroyed, this will have higher power than the Adeline. So we're going to board wipe apart from the Voice. So if we chump here, we're just saving ourselves 8 damage, because this is dying anyway. I mean, we could do 2 to them, but It's not too worth it. So let's take another terror, shall we? So we'll do this and this. Might as well ditch that as well. Sadly I won't cast that terror, but we're due a hand refuel soon anyway. I absolutely loved this card when it was in standard, and I do not feel any different about it now. What a card. Yeah, they're refueling. But with the card advantage we've got, so if we Banefire to face, it's for 6. They have got flying blockers though, so it would be 7, but this is 5 to face on its own. Ooh, make disappear could definitely come in handy. They have to block that. Gains them back 1. Oh, we lose our make disappear. But we're shuffling it in, so we might find it. Nope, but we have got a piece it together back out of the graveyard, which could come in particularly handy. Not sure that's helping you. We'll cast that down just so they don't get the card that they would get from the Adeline token. They're suiciding it to try and get one. Okay. GG. So many choices that can do a high amount of direct damage to face there. That was fun. That was a good one. Alright. SEAL Team Josh. This looks fun. Could use red off of this. We've got, again, a good land start. Playing against a slightly higher ranked player this time, so we might start seeing our mono reds and things. Bloomin' Esper Diviner decks or something. Whilst that's the nice thing about being in the like 90s, low 90s like this, is you just run into all sorts because everyone's experimenting down here, whereas when you play against like top 1000 in Alchemy, you're going to see a lot of the same decks. Blue-white. We're going to have to use this and untap, because I could use that, but then we're just costing ourselves too much life. This is control, okay. We've got the odd counter in our deck. Bit of tokens. Go. Discard nothing. Key to the archive. Yeah, this is worrying. There's going to be some board wipes coming, so what we don't want to do is fuck about with Crucias just yet. What we want to do is get Teferi, and I think we just draw with him. Try and stay ahead. There we go. On the cards, rather, like we've got a threatening enough board already. They are going to be board wiping, if anything. They're digging for one. They might not have one, but I'm nervous to put any more out. Although now we do have this, but they're going to have a ton of mana to spare. But look at our board. I mean, if you don't, you definitely want to kill this if you can. So we'll just keep drawing for now. We'll stay ahead on cards. I have a feeling we're going to get board wiped. Another key to the archive. They've only got 5 mana left now though. So we can probably counter whatever they do. No, 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 no. We're not having that. That's given us enough little dudes to win as well. Ah, control. What's control? Next game. Beef. Yeah, we got some beef, boy. You want some? Come fucking get some. We'll start with this, so we don't take too much damage off this burn land, whatever you call it, pain land. Beef, 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 beef. Right. So we can't actually play anything else this turn, so we'll just crack with the Ridge. Fable next, and then we're off. Can ditch some of these extra lands. Captain Eberhardt. Okie doke. That you don't see very often, but it is a soldier, so maybe we're against soldiers. If they've got the enchantment that gives it +1/+1 and flying or whatever it is. Yeah, this is soldiers deck. Hey. Soldiers. Soldiers. Let's throw away these two. So we want to put Tasha in, I think. Definitely give them something that's hard to remove for soldiers. And then hopefully we can get Kindling in and go and get some card advantage and, you know, just get a load of removal. But if we don't top a land, we can Fable and Peace, or Wandering Mind and Peace. Wandering Mind, see if we find a removal, which we couldn't afford anyway. Okay, Guardian of New Benalia is a bit nasty, but we want that spell out of the Kindling, the one that does 2 damage to everything and can't be countered. Haha! Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I feel like someone could write a metal song about this card. Okay, this is going off as well, so they're under some pressure with their 2 lands. Don't try anything chicken now. Kill this naughty thing. Because this they can keep, and this, meh, less annoying than that. Tasha's plussed anyway, so they're going to struggle to attack for a lot. And we start getting cards. Why is everyone running this in the soldiers deck? It's not a soldier, and it's a good card, but it's not that good. It dies to cut down. I find it surprising. The question would be, if they don't attack Tasha and she lives, and she stays on 6, do we just minus her? Go for our own soldier army? Or do we keep plussing and just wait for the Kindling to grind them out? It's probably the second option is the right one, but is it the most fun one? We can plus for 1 more turn, I suppose. Keep her around. Alright, this is what we're going for. Plus. So with this, we're going to do 1, 2, 3. On this. Dum, 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 dum. Then we're going to put the Fable on with this. Come on. You don't want to make this indestructible and tap it to discard a card right now. I'm just doing Fable. Nothing scary about that, beef. And then we'll piece something together. Get that intensity going. No attacks, obviously. We've now got 2 good blockers because of the -1/-1. And what we're going to get is some soldiers of our own. And we can copy one at least. So if we pull a Cathar, we just get rid of their whole board. Look at this. Look at this. Attack? No. What are we going to get this time? Let me see. Come on. Don't be a spoil sport. It's because you've got so much beef. I was so skeptical about this card when I was doing the card review, but actually in practice the just ongoing value you get out of it is so strong. This is also pretty good. If I mean, there's so many ways of recurring it in Alchemy. I love this deck. I've been having so much fun with it. Rusko I don't think is very good, but it's fun to play it in this deck. The clock adds an extra way to shuffle the pieces together back into your deck. I've definitely managed to get it to go off using that. And then Crucias is just really good. There's no doubt that Crucias is good. It always sounded good though. Come on, what is this? Don't make me cut you from my video, bro. I'll do it. I'll cut you. Yeah, whatever. This is a nice little party card to clone with reflection, isn't it? But first, let's get us some soldiers. Oh my goodness, a Moth Rider Cavalry. This is mad. We can clone the cavalry to give all our other creatures +1/+1 again, but then spitting out 3 goblins every turn has to be the winner. Oh, they are here. I just saw them touch their graveyard. Come on, beef. I'm not sure what you're going to do to get yourself out of this one. Maybe a depopulate in your creature deck? You've got planes for days. Those are not going to help. They were all put there by Tasha. Bereaved Survivor. This isn't even soldiers. This is just white cards. White cards with some soldiers. When it attacks, return target creature value 2 or less from your graveyard. No, I mean, what is this? That is one option. I agree that it was not your best option. We la 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 la. Yeah.
Keep your distance, mortals.
So attack, attack, attack. Yes, yes. That's it. Go, team. Oh, and let's kill this off. That was the point of getting the lightning bolt. 3 more life they don't get. Oh my goodness, we've transformed the bereaved survivor though into a monstrous 3/2 that can bring this back. Yeah, this is going to go badly. Because we can spend 1, 2, 5, 7, 8. We can spend 8, sacrificing 4 of these goblins and smashing you with them. I could have just done it on the blockers in fairness. Then we might have been through this game quicker because they would have had to tap the Guardian. As it stands, we have to wait for them to work out what great blocks they're going to do. There we go. Boom. Alright, that wasn't a real game. Let's try again. Alright. Probably the last one with this deck against Goofy Giant 77. Good. Got Kayla's Kindling. Some piece it togethers. Then I've got to go and do my Christmas wrapping. It's Christmas time. It's exciting. Although we literally have bought more presents for our dog than any other family member. The dog gets so many presents to unwrap. Right. Red for this one. Because it's a scry anyway. Don't want more of those on the play. Piece it together, please. Cool. Another land is not it's not a bad thing here. So far we're against Crystal Grotto. We're against red, blue, black. We might even get a Kindling down on turn 4. That would be sweet. Maybe we'll go like this. I don't think we need another Fable. I don't want to jam Kindling, so I'm going to jam Teferi. Yeah, that's going to be counted. Bye-bye. Because this has got so much more, like, you know, like, ongoing value. And Teferi is pretty good as well, but... Okay, we're not getting counted this turn, so... Well, could be Spell Pierced, I suppose. I'll be so upset if we get Spell Pierced. Nope. Good. Now, our own Rusko. So happy to have this down, although if we get Invoke Despair, it'll go. We need to, once we get a creature down, we can sack the Reflection instead. Yay. Let's just do that. I don't think we're going to use any of those because we want to play this and make this appear open, I think. If we get the option. Nope, we don't get the option. Okay. Getting through some Make Disappears. Just worried about the Invoke Despairs coming. They're coming. They can't be here yet because of the Crystal Grottos. Hourglass Coven. Ouch. We need some removal. We have got lots. Grasp, go for 3, cut down, Molten Impact. Any of these will do. What have we got? Ceaseless Torment and create a 1/1. Neither of those are that useful. These aren't that great. So we could use this and get a piece together back. Tempted by this and make disappear. So, but what do we put away? This? This discard? Yeah, this discard. And then go expedient. Okay. We'll discard this. Gotta hope that it's something we can make disappear. Exile. Send it from your graveyard to the battlefield. So they've got 1/1s they can get rid of. Okay. Game's getting a bit dicey with all these hags. Two damage to each, that does absolutely nothing good. Siege Gang it is. Okay, this is good. I can get rid of this one, or this one. Let's get rid of this one. They can just play another one of those, but do we ditch the... I think we do, you know. Decline. So then we can flash the Syphoner, which we can then start copying and get everything back. Oh yeah, whoops. Okay. Same two again. Anyway, let's get this. Let's get the make disappear. Let's counter Teferi. 1 damage, doesn't matter where. They're going to trigger Midnight Clock as well. So we can get an extra turn. A braid? Yeah. So what we need to do is copy this, get back, piece it together, get another turn, attack with these. And we'll go lesser. So what could we get back from our graveyard this time? Molten Impact maybe? A braid even? To get rid of the butt altar? So Unfortunately, we can't play the Terror. And we might die just to being attacked by stuff. Because we've got so much damage on board, but they haven't actually been attacking so far, so maybe they'll forget again. I don't think we'll be so lucky this time. We are being lucky again. Why didn't they just attack properly? They're probably having fun in the game. I'm sure I could have played this game better as well. Goodness. Oh man, they got the altar back. They're about to go off on midnight clock again as well. So we can volcanic fallout. On the Coven. Gonna have to go expedient. So we're not actually dead this turn now, but they are flipping their midnight clock, and I've lost my little instant sorcery cloning engine. We could be dead then. If they draw instant or sorcery. Okay, they didn't draw.
It's nice to see a familiar face.
We'll sacrifice that and bring back the hag, yeah. This hag is doing me in. We might need to play one of these. Not sure where we'd fit it in. Could run one, and then we can always go ambitious on our 5 drops. If only I had a Sheldred. So close. Good game. That was fun. That was fun. Although we lost, it was fun. And what the masses tend to cry for is statistics, and statistics is what I will offer you. So here are the 14 games I've played with the deck, 64% win rate, this is all in Mythic. We've done pretty well, I'd say, against the things that you face often, red, white and soldiers, or control, we do well. I mean, we struggled against some funky matchups. I mean, the Alchemy meta is pretty funky at the moment, but especially since I added the Fables, which I didn't always have in there. Look at that, 5 and 1, which is what we saw on the video. I'd say this deck is better than the 64%. It's actually really, really good fun, and there's lots of tweaking you can do with the various spells. I think I might go down to 2 Iconoclasts and 3 Syphoners maybe. Could be a better ratio of those cards, but anyway, yeah, I think this is just so much fun. As you can see, I've experimented playing with all sorts of different cards, and there's so many different non-creatures that you can stick in this deck to try and tailor it against the meta that you want to play against. Look at my graph throughout the playtesting in Alchemy, but this one is starting to turn it back up again. So this is the fun one, this is the good one, and I hope it can bring you some joy over the Christmas period. Anyway, thank you very, very much to everyone who has been watching my channel this year. It has been the first year that I've recorded anything ever and put it on the internet, and I really do appreciate managing to get up to 200 subscribers in this year, and I've had so much sort of positive comments and positive feedback from all of you that I really do appreciate it. I hope you all have a good Christmas, and I will look forward to doing some more content for you in the new year. Take care, everybody.